Alright, Deadheads, listen, I'm not going to record a live reaction. However, during the commercial breaks, I'm just going to interject with my first impressions. If this video works out good, you'll be watching it. Alright, so the episode starts, a nice montage over music, and I don't know how I feel about this. Listen, the montage was good. The stuff the kid was saying was a little shaky. However, what kind of struck me odd, and I don't know how I feel about this, is the fact that he said it's been 9 days since the lights went out, so I'm assuming it's been 9 days since the last episode. You know what I'm saying? If I get that right. Like I said before previously, I just can't picture them doing any time jumps like that. Not even for a day or an hour. I thought we were going to follow these characters like, every moment along the way. Now they got a perimeter around this little neighborhood. They got, this security fence. They have details. I'm dealing with the week or 9-day time skip here, and I'm like, all right, this isn't so bad. This is all right. I get it. I follow. It's a little slow, but it feels like they're restarting the season. You know what I mean? With something totally different. Now time jump. We're used to the soldiers here. Okay, I could deal with this. And then the junkie kid is all of a sudden like, I don't need to take my pills. Whoop-de-whoop. Oh, it got to me. I'm like, you know what? To breeze over the whole junkie thing, what's the point of making him a junkie then? I mean, like, seriously, come on. And I got a little pissed because that's not how it works at all. That shit's psychological. Like, dude's gonna be taking drugs off people, and I was right about to start bitching, and then they see him stealing the morphine off that dude, and I was like, oh, shit. So glad they didn't just, abandon that storyline or that junkie aspect, because, again, they made a junkie character. What's the point of doing that? Just to jump time and say, hey, he's healed now. Yeah. I like that, that light. I like that. That little mystery there. Who is that? I'm liking that. I dig that. I'll let that slide. At first, I was like, kid, what are you doing on the roof? All right, yeah, you see reflection, whatever. It's probably somebody out there, you know what I mean? That's a nice setup. I'm hoping the payoff is pretty good. I don't want it now, though. I give it next episode. Let that linger a little bit, Marinate us in the mystery of that shit. Now we're at a point in the story where she's out in this neighborhood and there's no walkers around or nothing. I got the feel like they're just doing everything they can to keep zombies out of the fucking show. You know what I mean? For a minute there, that's what I get this feeling. Man, there's got to be some stragglers. Well, we didn't see any zombies, but I tell you what, that ending to that episode brought it all the way around home. Because, I'll be honest with you, I was starting to hate on that shit, Characters do dumb shit. Like right now, the Liza chick, yeah, she was definitely being played, but it doesn't feel like she's all the way being played, The other girls, the other nurse feels like she's like, well, this is the necessary shit we need to do. We just need to do it, you know what I mean? But yeah, that Liza bitch definitely ratted out Nick, and that's why, man, I agree with Madison. Yeah, that's Liza's fault. She should have shut her fucking mouth. You know what I mean? We'll get people who will say, that's bad writing. That's bad writing. The writers don't know how to write people. That isn't bad writing. You can't have a flawed character and say that, oh, it's bad writing because he's flawed. They wrote these characters to have flaws. So that's one thing I will say. I thought Liza's attitude here and her naivete, I thought it was annoying. It was like, come on, bitch, it's a fucking government, you know what I mean? But in the same strength, I'm not sitting there saying, oh, that was bad writing. That's the character. She'll live and learn from that lesson. She has good intentions, you know what I mean? But to that ending, I was kind of getting the feeling that they might actually venture out and get away from these army men and go see who's on the hill. But I like that ending better. I might not have loved this entire episode, but I loved that ending. I love how everything just built up and built up and built up with the army. And then at the very end, they took Mama Salazar, they took Nick Clark, and then he goes on the roof and they see the army men from the flashes of guns killing the people who were in that little building or whatever it was. For those who didn't get that, that's what happened. I guess that army guy was just bullshitting him, and he actually sent men up there to execute whoever was alive. So when he went up there, the person was at the window shining the light, and then next, pop, 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 that was the army men coming into that building and killing the survivors in that that place. So it was like at the very end, it was just like a gut punch. Okay, the army's here, they're doing what they need to be doing, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, gotcha, we're your worst enemy. You thought the walkers were a problem? Like I said, it didn't win me over the first half hour. It really didn't. They definitely could have just crammed this into a half an hour and got the point across. Listen, for the first 20 minutes, I just didn't know where I was with the episode. The time skip kind of jammed me up. So I didn't know where I was. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. I was kind of just absorbing it. The second 20-minute time slot was like, I'm not feeling this episode. Some of it is alright, some of it is just boring. I just wanted to see zombies. I don't need zombies in the episode, but I was at that point where I'm like, just give me a fucking walker, please. Just give me something. And then the third 20-minute time slot of the episode, the final third of the episode, it kind of won me round. This is such a weird episode, man. I went from being like, I don't know how I feel, to I'm not really feeling this, to I like that ending. I like that a lot. That ending was pretty sick. I like that. I love how the beginning of the episode and the end of the episode literally came full circle. Now that's overdone to death. Don't ever pay attention to that. Once you pay attention to the full circle technique in screenwriting, you'll never get it out of your mind, because that's like the most overdone shit to death in Hollywood. Start something and end something, come full circle. It's, oh my god, they do it in everything. But this one, I liked it. I like how they did that. This is a weird episode. I just thought about, man, what would I rate this? And I'm thinking, there were some parts where I was just bored. But I enjoyed the way they wrapped it up so much. The character writing in this episode, the characters are pretty solid. Listen, they have flaws. They do stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? But for character writing, this episode is pretty solid. So I don't think we should be seeing that, because that's like one of the biggest things. And I think it comes from, again, a lot of people, you see a character do something stupid or annoying, it's because bad writing. When in fact, the character is supposed to do something stupid, naive, or annoying. Remember how I said they could have actually trimmed this episode, trimmed some fat? This entire stuff, I was right about shut everything down, but this entire stuff with that dad that just like gets scared shitless and runs away, and the army finds him out there and they take him to that place. I know it establishes, the information and shit like that, but again, if we're not getting that, or we're not seeing that, if that's not a setup for some payoff in the next episode, or maybe the episode after that, all this shit with that scared dad could have been cut. Like, he's talking to the guy now, and I'm even thinking right now, like, I don't think we need that. And they ended it strong, so I kind of do wish we got something else. Alright guys, we're going to try something new. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment box about how you felt about episode 4. Now I'm going to look at all your comments and read everything. I'm not going to reply on there. What I'll do is I'll try, if this does work out, I'll make a follow-up video and I'll discuss a couple points that you guys mentioned in the comments section. I think that would be pretty cool. Thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.